Hello, good morning, friends. Today I am again back with one of the new interesting video. I think this topic I think will be very much a big concern about lot many people's. I would like to say everybody is I think mostly concerned about I think wealth in their life. Okay, wealth becomes the top priority. How to make wealth? How to see what kind of wealth basically we are likely to see in our life. Okay, so from today onwards, I will be making lot many videos on how this basically the potentials of the birth chart of an individual. So, as I think today we will talk about the second house in the birth chart. I think this will be the most interesting video for lot many people who are doing their best in life, but I think not able to meet the ends as per the basic requirements. Some are super rich in their life. Some are moderately getting good wealth, able to save certain level of things. So in the second house of the birth chart, when we come, basically we need to understand that second house in the birth chart, basically in the natural zodiac belt or Kal Purusha, it falls in the sign of Taurus, the sign of Venus. This sign, second house, means lot of things. It is the second house to your birth ascendant, to your extension, your expansion. Okay, your body expansion, your facial expansion, your height expansion, your physical, your social, your economical overall expansion. And the most important thing, second house speaks about the upbringing, what kind of upbringing we have got. Apart from that, second house being the fixed sign energy in the chart, which speaks about your family, your food habits, your voice quality, your way of speaking or presenting yourself through vocal cord, the ability to become a singer in your life, ability to become a leader, orator, and lot many other things. So whatever basically you see in the second house in the birth chart, along with the Taurus sign, basically. One more thing we need to understand that we are born in a specific family. We specifically get a kind of a upbringing, good or bad, basically. These are the things, the kind of surname title which is attached with our name. Some basically take the liberty to change the surname. Some does not has the surname, and lot many things in your life. It speaks about our material, physical identity, our value, our identification in the world. Okay, so family is one of the thing. But why we are born in a particular family? To know that somewhere we have to come down to the fifth house in the birth chart. Fifth house speaks about our paternal lineage, the lineage we are coming through our father's father. Fifth house is your paternal grandfather, it's the father of your father. And from fifth house, if you calculate, this is the 10th house from your grandfather's house. So, this is the profession, this is the status, this is the thing which your grandfather had left behind. Your father's, for your father's second house, will be the sixth house, the challenge, responsibility headed towards him. Okay, a kind of a legacy transfer from the son to the grandson. So everybody must know that fifth house in the natural zodiac belt is Leo and second house is a Taurus. These both are considered very auspicious but a fixed nature of sign. No matter in different ascendant, second house, the movable sign, dual sign will come up. But let me make you think. You cannot make addition in which family you will take birth. This is not in your hand. This is not in your choice zone. Okay, you can be later on adopted or something like that. That may be a secondary matter. Okay, or you may adopt somebody. That's a different matter. You marry somebody, your family increases, but this is a family before your spouse comes to your life. Okay, where you have spent your childhood, you have done your schooling life. The basic education is seen by the second house. So second house is not only about the material wealth or a liquid wealth. Okay, Venus basically speaks about the valuable assets, gold, ornament, currencies, and all other things which are added as a wealth. Jupiter is a fixed significator of second house. The kind of family, the kind of DNA, the kind of environment, the kind of upbringing, and what is the maximum level of wealth in our lifetime we are likely going to make. Money, wealth acquisition, apart from that, money saving. Some people may find it very difficult to save money in your life due to lot many expenditure and lot many things. This house is also the Marka house in the birth chart. Why? It's a fixed nature sign. Why it is Marka? The reason because it is Marka is there are a lot of stakeholders. Second house is not only an independent house or individual house where you can see an individual taking as an autocratic decision or something like it's a kingdom like. It's an institution of family. Okay, Venus, Jupiter, somewhere you see they are creative planets, they are the material social planet. So it's an institution of family. You cannot take an anonymous decision here. Somewhere basically you have to consider everybody together, you have to grow in somewhere. So in a family, you are involved with lot many people from the past life as a father, mother, brother, sister. As I told you, you cannot choose the family you are born. So somewhere basically second house speaks the kind of the first house where basically our merits and demerits are attached. The status left by your grandfather and the challenge of your father. From ninth house, second house falls in the sixth house. The prarabdha and a challenge. Your family is the prarabdha and challenge of your father somewhere. Basically. So in a bhavat bhavam concept, those who are very much familiar about that topic, you need to understand every house in a brief, detailed, descripted mode. Okay. So now coming to the second house. Like everybody is more, I think, concerned about what kind of wealth or what kind of thing basically they may make in your life. Okay. So second house, as we see, Venus is the natural lord of the second house, Taurus sign. Apart from Venus, basically, we need to also look at the planet, basically Jupiter in the birth chart. No matter you are born in which ascendant, but Jupiter is very important with regard to the second house. Because Jupiter is the Vishnu, okay? The pran, the life, the reason, the merit, everything is Vishnu. Lakshmi comes in the secondary role, not on the primary role. All the body you're made up of mud. Basically, Taurus sign is a earth sign. So you have to relate food, everything, upbringing, wealth, and all these things are basically a kind of an illusion which is attached with Venus. So Venus has the command on the material world in the family. The day you're one day you're born with a family, one day most of the members of your family will leave you. Their wealth may add to you or their burden will add to you. So second house speaks a lot of things. So Venus needs to be seen secondary after Jupiter. No matter you're born in which ascendant, Jupiter may be the lord of a bad house, but being a significator, Jupiter should not be in a bad combination with the second house, should not have a bad chemistry. Like whenever Jupiter is in the third house, as I had those who have watched all my video, you must know that whatever videos I am making, every video has an interconnection there. You need to understand that the planet are not in a Martha Karka. Then in the latest video, I have told you about the Navtara Chakra Paddhati, the placement of planet placement in a nakshatra from your birth moon. The same rule is applicable from the birth ascendant nakshatra also. But birth ascendant nakshatra is mostly concerned about the unfinished physical chapters of life in terms of a retrograde planet. But even if anybody is watching this video and they have a retrograde planet, make sure that second house is very closest house to the ascendant. So obviously there might be possibility you may be born in any one of the birth ascendant nakshatra of the three planet will be falling in the ascendant. And the third nakshatra may be falling in the second house. Or somewhere you will be lucky, third nakshatra may be falling itself in the first house. Okay, both things can happen. So basically any retro planet in the second house speaks about a lot of a karmic baggage coming from the past. If by default that planet is placed in the third nakshatra from your birth ascendant, let's say Jupiter placed Mars, Venus, Mercury, or any planet, you are carrying a lot of burden with related to the family. Sometimes you may have a lot of wealth, but your situation will be like a watchman who can watch, who can take precaution of everything, but cannot take undue advantage. And if you do something, your past life negative karma gets multiplied. So you have to be very careful. Wealth making, I understand. It's a need, it's a dream, it's a desire, it's a necessity in the Kali Yuga. But you need to be very understand. For retrograde planet in second house, I'll make a separate video. Today we will stick to the second house, the general things basically. So Jupiter should not be in the third house, in the sixth house, in the seventh house. Up to some extent, in the eighth house, Jupiter may be good, may be giving great aspect to the second house, but it will be aspecting 12th house also. It will be aspecting fourth. So Jupiter in the eighth, or to some extent, it's very okay, quite okay for the second house matter, not bad. But somewhere basically it will cut down some of the great things in your life. You may get lot many wealth due to lot many different reasons as an inheritance and lot many things. Okay, but still eighth house is a very scary house. 3, 6, 7, 8. These are the house. Apart from that, 10th house is also being the Kendra houses, but here Jupiter is the Marga Karaka. The second house automatically becomes weak in your birth chart because Jupiter becomes helpless in the 10th house. Okay, I'll tell you about one more great thing. Wealth is not only you earn or your family earns, but when you love, make a wealth, lot of wealth, but after you, somebody in the family will be in that condition to carry out the same legacy. Suppose they are a business tycoon. Mr. Mukesh Ambani is a Scorpio ascendant, second house falls in the Sagittarius. Jupiter sitting in the 10th house in the Leo sign in a Pushkar Navansha great position. Although he may be one of the richest man on India, I have no doubts related to that. But somebody is overtaking him. But if you look at the family, their children's basically, are they compatible enough to their father? Basically, people with the Jupiter in the 10th, with regard to the wealth I have seen in their life, basically, they always go through one trouble in their life. Their future generation is not at par the skills, the ability they have taken from their father. And one more thing, those people with the Jupiter in the 10th house, somewhere they will be having a lot of burden or challenges in their life in terms of making wealth. People may externally look that this person seems very found, very technically sound, powerful, wealthy, rich, and all those things. But lot many things maybe that people will be, you can say, surrounded by lot many things which may not be visible. So 10th house is again not a very compatible house for Jupiter in terms of maintaining the wealth to generations after generation. It's a danger mark. Rest in 11th and 12th house, Jupiter is already. So here we have understood the first planet which is called the Jupiter. Jupiter should not be in a bad chemistry with the second house. Otherwise, it will create a lot of trouble. And Jupiter should not be combust. Jupiter should not be retro. In retrograde also, there's a conditions apply that I'll make up during the retrograde planet series. Okay, so somewhere basically you need to understand the first thing, Jupiter should be powerful. Somewhere Venus should be powerful also. It's a natural second lord, should not have a bad chemistry. Venus in the sixth house. It will create a lot of trouble once you get married in your life. Or if you are not married, getting married will be a trouble. Or I think if you get married, or I think after marriage also, the like Jupiter in the 10th house is very problematic. Similarly, Venus in the sixth is not a very comfortable position, no matter which sign, because it is the joint significator, partly significator in the second house. Jupiter also plays an important role in a family expansion, in a man's chart. Even in a female's chart, Jupiter is not a very healthy combination. You might have a lot of wealth, I will not deny, but your most of the wealth will go into the conflict in the health issues of your wife or family challenges, job challenges, something while trigger. You may put up lot of money in expenditure in luxury, lavish life or something like that. But sometimes you may be very easygoing nature. You may not like to take tough challenges for making wealth. So these both planets are basically the foundational significator of the second house. Apart from that, everybody must know that moon basically finds exaltation in the second house. Liquid wealth, constant wealth, throughout the life wealth. Moon in the second house is considered very auspicious, very jolly face, very good speech, very calm, composed, sweet speech. Okay. So moon is very wealthy in terms of wealth creation. May not make you a billionaire, it depends upon a lot of conditions. Okay. But at the first glance, moon is the second house. Is the most comfortable planet. It behaves like a exalted planet. You will somewhere have the art of talking to the people in such a way that you will have a very good connections, relationship with the people. In terms of second house speaks about the relationship building. Before making wealth creation, somewhere you have to build up relation through your communication, through your speech. Jupiter, Venus, Moon, all through are very clever in developing relationship, learning, earning, everything. Learning comes first, then comes the earning. So they have inherent quality of art of talking to the people, food habit, living manners, and everything. They are fortunate. And then we add basically Mercury here. Mercury is very good in speech, vocal communication, all those things. I find Mercury is also good for constant wealth creation, the most alert and clever planet. So basically, these four soft planet, if you have, I think any one of the four planet in second house, basically, let's say Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, Moon, you will be never short of wealth in your life. Okay, you might have other factors in your chart. You might have loans, trouble, challenges, but one thing I'll make you ensure in this video, you will be never be poor, categorized as a poor person, bad person in terms of wealth. Somewhere you will get some advantage from the past life. Due to that reason, you have either Jupiter, Moon, Mercury, Venus. You are a fortunate person in terms of wealth. You will never see that worst crisis in your life until unless the significator Jupiter, Venus are destroyed and any one moon or anybody is placed there. That may be a different reason. But in generally, in my whole life practice journey, I've seen that anybody having, I think, any one of the four planets in the second house, it definitely gives you a constant flow of wealth in your life. May not be very rich, but still. But this planet are quite capable to make you a billionaire in your life. Your speech, your voice, your behavior, your expansion speaks a lot of things. Okay, then once you open up your mouth, people comes to know who you are. I said, na second house is the first impression in front of the people, the voice quality, the facial quality, the looks and lot of many things, which people basically notices. Okay, so basically these are the four soft planets which are considered very auspicious in the second house. Now coming to the cruel planet. Let's take the planet Sun here. Sun basically is the significator of natural fifth house, first house, and 10th house. So somewhere you may be born in a very dignified family, no matter which ascendant you are born with. But Sun shows that somewhere you have been born in the royal family or somebody in your family is a very famous person. Or either your grandfather was a very big person in your genetic field. Even your father may be in the government field or somebody in your family may be either in government or maybe a renowned personality. But Sun being a harsh nature planet, it's not a bad planet, not a tamasic planet, but becomes very harsh. Not very good for dealing with a relationship because it is the house of Venus. Although Sun might give you good wealth, Sun basically in own sign is quite good. Okay, but still it will create certain fixed dimensions in your life that it will not give you easy access of wealth. Sun comes up with lot many conditions in the second house. This is the house of Venus and Jupiter both. So Sun naturally is here neutral. Lot many conditions apply. Sun is good in second house, not bad, but will not give you completely abundance. There, even if gives you abundance, there may be lot many other factors there. But second house Sun is moderately okay, I would like to say. Not a very good combination to become a super rich in your life through wealth acquisition. Sun seems to be very lazy in terms, very harsh by nature. Now, depending upon which kind of sign and whether the Sun is the lord of a good house or not. But Sun definitely gives you a good ability to make wealth. Self-made, hard earned. Somewhere your father, forefather might have left the good name behind them, and you may encash that. That will become a great foundation. So somewhere you are fortunate. That's why I told that moderately okay. But your speech, if you are speaking very cruel, very harsh, second house is not very good for those people who have a very harsh, cruel speech. If you have a cruel planet, the first thing you need to mind your speech very carefully. No matter you may be a straightforward speaker, I'm not asking you to be a sugar coating, but Lakshmi ji's house, you have to be very calm, composed. This is the house of goddesses Lakshmi. You have to be very calm, composed within the family. It's an institution, and somewhere basically you should not try to be bossy in your family. No matter you may be the husband, you may be the only earning member, but still try to be democratic in your family because second house is not a house of a dictator. If you have a very loud voice, be very careful. You will never know within what period of time, slowly, wealth will go out of your life. You should have to avoid all the bad habits in the life. So Sun is there. Then we come basically to the planet, basically Mars here. Mars is the natural significant of third house, siblings. Mars is a significant of sixth house, partly fourth house. Up to some extent, I've seen Mars good and bad good. These people are even more harsh, very harsh speaker, very loud speaker, uh, in their life basically, and they may be very aggressive. Their I think upbringing may be very tough in their childhood basically. They may be very, I think, aggressive, alert, proactive in terms of wealth making. One of the sibling in their family may be the matter of concern. If they are the eldest child in their family, that's fine. Somewhere they have to start making money quite at early age in life. They may get lot of injury on the face or something. Again, they have to be very careful not to do any kind of violence in their family life, not to be violent or very quick judgmental in terms of money matters. Mars is a significator of sixth house. Okay, Mars coming into second house means a kind of a Mahabharata kind of a situation in your family. Somewhere your family will divide, lot many death in your families. Somebody in your family, genetics, either in father, grandfather, maternal grandfather, somebody within your family relative might have died quite early before their complete age or something might have happened. Mars is like a dynamic leader, a battleground. Wherever Mars basically sits, that house becomes a battleground. You may be a very fast eater. Somewhere may be a very impatient man. Your speaking abilities will be very fast. Like even I do have Mars in the second house, but it has caused me lot many trouble challenges in my life. I'll not deny that. So, but I have other good planets there. So you can control the energy of Mars. Mars will become 12th from the third house significant house. So your all power, muscle power, everything comes through your face. You may be a good singer. Mars gives you a very loud, energetic voice. Energy is in your throat. Okay. So somewhere basically Mars in the singer can make you can make a very good cook, chef. You may be into any business. I think manpower management, something like a politician, like a leader. Lot many things. Somewhere your voice will be so loud, low, dynamic. People will love you to listen in certain ways. Basically, so Mars in second house is up to some extent good, but it will come up with lot many challenges in your life. Somewhere your family life, personal life, somewhere the controversy will be around. You have to be very careful in speaking any kind of addressing people. Sometimes your tone of voice may be so naturally high that people may try that you are scolding them, you are trying to be overpowering them. Be very careful. Be very reasonable in your life somewhere, because you may not mean bad things, but the tone of your voice may make people angry. Everybody is not habituated of listening such a loud voice. Sometimes you may not yourself like it, so don't do it with others. This is the mantra. If the Mars can make you a super rich also in this house, because wherever Mars sits, Mars knows how to make win. Okay, if you have a Mars in the second house, you are a quite fortunate person, but at a price something which you may not like. It's like a soldier. You may pull up your family, your life from the very worst situation to the topmost. You can turn up to be a billionaire. Someday you may get a control of lot many big institution, organization. You'll be building your own organization. Mars is like that, one man army, but not try to harm people in any way. Then we come to the planet Saturn here. Saturn is the karka of 6th, 8th, and 12th house. Prarabdha karma. Saturn here is a shown a bad upbringing in the childhood. Somebody in the family might be sick. There may be a lot many old age people within your family. The initial family background at the time of your birth may not be very good. You might have born in an extremely hand to mouth family, somewhere lot many family challenges in terms of health. Two people earning and 20 people getting feeded on them, basically lot of responsibility. Now these people sometimes may get the inherited property from their family ancestors, sometimes depending upon the ascendant and which kind of thing. But technically Saturn is also a bitter planet by nature. Saturn says that I know all things, मैं सब कुछ जानता हूँ. That attitude should be avoided. Although Saturn is quite careful comparable to Mars and Sun, but still it will not give you such abundance at all of a sudden. Your financial matter will be a big challenge throughout the life, because it is the karka of your eighth house. Sometimes it can give you unaccountable wealth through without hard work, depending upon sitting in a good nakshatra. But technically, Saturn in the second house is not good for family life, social life. Okay, you will be good in saving money. You will be very rational, very responsible about the money matter. You may not be spending a lot of money in the rash way. Okay, rest other may be. You may be a person who is, I think, not very good in expressing wealth or be very silent in nature. But again, Saturn can make you a great person in your life. You are the product of hard work, trouble, challenges. So Saturn can give you something which most of the people may not imagine. Consistency, building everything step by step. Saturn is very good. But Saturn can sometimes bless you with such kind of powers. You may, by 35, 36 of your age, will become very clever, very smart in your life because you have gone through such hardship in your life. After that, your financial situation will be like skyrocketing. So Saturn in second house in general is considered moderately okay with conditions apply, but it will also cost you lot many things in your life. Your speech should be very careful. You should not be revengeful or should try to see the other side. You may be very experienced person, I'll not deny the fact, but not necessary that everybody has the bond with the same experience. You could be a good preacher, a guru kind of a thing. Sometime in the house of Jupiter can make you very wise person. But the world has 8.5 billion population. Like I am an astrologer. I know a lot of things, but still there might be some people who may not agree with my point of view. It's quite obvious. You have to be that flexible the way I have been. Okay. Why? Because God has not given every astrologer, every person, everything in the astrology. My experience or the kind of a people with whom I have, I think, interacted in my life are somewhere aligned to the destiny from the past life, and I'm looking at their chart or teaching astrology to somebody. So they have certain karmic, and we have a joint experiences. So basically, we can relate that. But some people might not have that sort of planetary placement the way I have my client students have. Okay, you have a quite right to be differ with my point of view, and you might have seen a different thing with this placement. Okay, quite obvious, not a big deal, because I think, as I said, every planet needs to be seen through lot many angles. Saturn sitting here from the moon nakshatra. If you have anybody has seen the nakshatra video in my previous video, Navtara Chakra Paddhati, any planet sitting in the second house from the moon nakshatra, look that this planet is sitting in which nakshatra. It also a big indication in your life that you are born fortunate in terms of wealth making, saving, living for the next generation, or you are born with a trouble. Sometimes the planet sitting in own house, exalted house in the second house. Planet in a moon trikona is also looking very promising, but still sitting in a bad nakshatra from the moon, third, fifth, seventh nakshatra, or any of the other nakshatra of this bad nakshatra, and maybe falling in second house. Now, the complete good planet might become a challenging in your life. So sometimes you need to understand the chart in a very microscopic level. Basically, I always use this word. Basically, don't try to cherry pick anything and try to draw the conclusion, but this is something you have to be very careful. So this is the matter related to the second house and Saturn. If Saturn is sitting in one of the good nakshatra from the moon, somewhere you are blessed, fortunate. But Saturn in the second house, and if you have a moon somewhere in the first house or second house, you're born at the time of Saraswati. That is itself is a big explanation. Then after Saturn, we will come to the planet of Rahu. Everybody is very much considered about Rahu. In the natural zodiac belt, Rahu is very comfortable in the second house Taurus. Rahu is like a dummy actor, a duplicate. It copies somebody. Rahu will try to copy Jupiter here, Venus here, the qualities of second house. But Rahu is extremely foodie by nature, not necessarily the food we am talking about. Rahu is limitless desire. Sitting in the second house can make you really multi-billionaire. These people may be very sharp and maybe a great politician, be a great businessman, great singer, lot many things, depending upon the kind of a sign nakshatra Rahu is sitting here. So nakshatra placement of Rahu plays a very big role in the second house. If Jupiter is good, Venus is good, this Rahu can definitely make you a billionaire. I'm not doubting the person basically, but make sure that Rahu is a dharma. Rahu will give you lot many wealth coming and going, but people will find it very difficult to save them. If only Rahu is sitting in the second house, but if Rahu is sitting with any cruel planet, let's say Mars, Saturn, Sun, now this is even more dangerous. I think their one Sun, Mars are like fire, and Rahu is putting air or fuel in it. It's very dangerous. Saturn along with Rahu is again a very problematic combination. Person has to be very careful with his speech, voice, what exactly you are trying to say. Because Rahu is sometimes miscommunication also. You may be trying to say something. Rahu may be also sometimes loud, may have bad addictions in their life, drinking, smoking, lot many things. So Rahu is a kind of a tamasic planet like Mars and Saturn. Your habits will define your character in life. Find it very difficult to save the money. Okay, the money will come to you. You will be having a tendency of gambling, quick money, quick everything, lot is in. Sometimes you might have been cheated a lot in your life. Look at the position of a Jupiter. If Jupiter is making good combination with the second house, Rahu will definitely give you money through shortcuts also. But if you harm, if you cheat, if you do something wrong with somebody, this same Rahu can destroy you, reputation, your family, and everything. And one more thing, Rahu when comes into the second house, it will divide the big family into small family. Check out your family history. Earlier, your family will be a big one. Somewhere they may be rich together, but after quarrels, difference of opinion, Rahu gets separated. Rahu never allows anybody to be united somewhere. Rahu is divided into. So Rahu is basically my way or highway. That is the problem. Like Sun, Mars, Saturn, they all have a kind of harshness. Rahu is very opportunistic. Relationship with terms and conditions. If you're my friend, like America says to the lowest of the country in the world, if you're our friends, it's okay. If you're our enemy, it's very dangerous. So both things you need to understand. Rahu is typically like USA, the country which is neither good, very good as a friend or enemy. Both way you are in danger. Rahu is not friend to anybody. Rahu is not enemy to anybody. But Rahu is very opportunistic. Rahu, if I compare in the second house comparable to other planet, is the fastest planet can do anything in your life. If a good nakshatra and good sign is placed, second lord is placed in a good house with the Jupiter in the good combination. This Rahu can take you to the great height in your life. But one more thing, Rahu will make you self-made. Rahu will not give you other people's wealth. Shortcut that easy. So that way you need to be somewhere be very careful with the second house. Okay. So that was Rahu here. And if you see the Ketu here, Ketu has no attachment towards the wealth, nothing with the family. But Ketu here means something of the past is left behind. Now, where is the depositor sitting? Where is the sign lord of Ketu sitting? That will tell you what are the hidden treasures in your life. Don't take that Ketu is detachment, Ketu is denial of wealth. No, this is the half the picture. Ketu is the past life merit or quality or skill set or hidden treasure stored here. Whenever Ketu is in your second house, check out the where second lord is placed and Jupiter is placed and that nakshatra lord is placed. All you have to break in parts and see which houses. Those houses knows where you can get the hidden wealth. Sometimes people in the Ketu in the second house, they have done lot many things for the family or they might have not done anything for the family. So in this lifetime related matter related to second house, somewhere lot of mysterious things will be there. Somewhere you will not get the help of your father, forefather families in the direct way. It is like a terms and condition in a video game. If you want to reach the third level, winning level, you have to fail the first and second level, which may be very painful in your people's life. Sometimes people may be trying to push needles in your life, in your family, try to pin pricks and everything. Okay, Ketu is a very dynamic planet in the second house. You'll be very blunt and straightforward speaker like Sun and Mars. But even Ketu can give you a lot of things in the second half. Do not ignore, underestimate the feature of. Let's say if Jupiter is aspecting this Ketu, you can literally discover the hidden treasure in your life in a very different manner. For more details, basically, you have to take consultations from me. Either you can take the astrology classes from me, basically. Okay. So that way, somewhere you need to understand that Ketu in the second house is not completely bad or completely good, but Ketu seems to be not caring about something where it sits. Okay. So you'll be a very careless guy, you will be very blank in your life. All of a sudden, something happens. In your financial matter, anything will happen in a very radical way, very sudden way. Rahu Ketu both does the same thing. But Rahu can bring up more scandals in your life, whereas Ketu can punish you and reward you both. and can give you some hidden capabilities in your life, and you can beat all the peoples of your own timeline. So this was basically some basic feature about what are the things basically the planets can do with the second house. Okay. If somebody tells me which are the comfortable combination for second house in terms of wealth making, the best combination I would like to say is Moon and Mars. It's one of the best combination. They are very clever in terms of making money. Apart from that, this conjunction is very good. Then second best conjunction in the second house is Mercury and Venus. This is a very good combination in the second house. If somebody has a Jupiter, Mercury or Jupiter, Venus, even that is good combination. Venus and Saturn both are very challenged. Even Mars, Venus is not very good in that area. If there are too much of traffic of cruel planets, say Sun, Mars, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu in the second house, you are literally sitting on the firehouse. Be very careful. You may be from a very dynamic family, you may be very powerful person, but your family will pay for something you may never know. You might have a lot of inheritance, lot of big name brand. You may be very powerful man or woman in your life, but be very careful with the wealth because you are just a tiny soul in this lifetime within a certain family or certain things you have got to your past life. But that is not the guarantee that your everything what you will do, you will speak will come up in a good way. Because second house, whatever you do, gets a light on the eighth house, and eighth house a hidden challenge coming back to you. So if you have any planet in the second house, if eighth house has certain planet, that's kind of a great reward or a great challenge in life. So somewhere the people basically has to be very careful. The planet which can literally second house, if any planet is sitting in a Mool Trikon sign, Mool Trikon planet in the second house, even if the cruel planet is considered very auspicious for a consistent, a wealthy equations in their life. Okay, and one more thing, Ashtavarga point of second house matters a lot. Those who understand the technical language of Ashtavarga points, if it is more than let's say 25, you are at a good combination. 25 should be minimum average in terms of Ashtavarga to give you a good wealth. If your Ashtavarga point is less than 25, somewhere Jupiter and other planets are weak, you should never try to keep a bank account in your own name or stock market account in your own name in terms of saving. You should try to keep your father, mother, brother, sister, somebody as a good Ashtavarga, good Jupiter in order to save the money in your life. Okay, so this was a small video on second house matters. Still, I'll come up with lot many other videos where I can give you lot many such combination by birth or probabilities where you can become a super rich in your life. Okay, so that's all for today. And those people who have been not subscribed my channel, I please request you, please, 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 please subscribe my channel. I'll be bringing up more unique videos. Sometime you will get a different angle to look at the chart in a different ways basically to understand like how can you can deal with your life. What are the good and bad things in everybody's chart? Okay, so that's for today, and we'll come you very soon within few days.